through Firefly again. We'll see. Let's watch this first. This is a series between Hanwha Life eSports and KT, and Hanwha are looking to bounce back from a loss against the EWC winners in D+ Kia, where KT are riding high after winning the telecom war. Just a crazy turn of events. This is the opposite footing we're expecting both of these teams to be on moving into this final series of the week. The Ezreal going to be taken away from FenRir, who is also playing. And remember, guys, they just did a trade. They traded aiming for Jiwoo, and FenRir is still playing. The new guy, the young gun that was able to help them get that 2-0 victory over T1.
And with bans flying through, we haven't seen yet the Poppy or the Locke get banned. With the Ezreal and Camille make it into the first round bans, which just happened a decent amount, but with those two being there, it's Poppy, Orianna, and Locke are the three picks that I'm thinking of. Orianna is going to get the ban.
Lock it in. Lock it in, BDD. That's not locking it in.
That
That's
is
snaking it in.
And I mean, playing a melee champion in the Cassiopeia,
That doesn't sound very fun. Whoa.
Can be uncomfortable. They ignore the Locke. They go straight for the Lucian Milio.
This was the game where if you had have cancelled it after 15 minutes, you probably would have given the win to HLE. That was the last time they played this into D+ Kia. At least I'm pretty sure they lost that game in the end. But it was well and truly an in the end type scenario where Gumayusi was doing some pretty phenomenal things earlier on. They are deadly with this lane.
Is the thought process that they can't lock when they've already got the Cassiopeia, but they could lock and put a bot lock. But it's not going to be a bot lock. It's going to be Misfortune coming through.
I see what you're doing, and I like it.
Misfortune, Nautilus. So good lockdown for the Lucian. This is not a fun game to play Lucian into.
No.
You're very short range into a lot of champions that don't make being short range fun. HLE toying with the idea of not locking Locke.
Are they going to lock Jarvan instead?
Wow.
Definitely a surprise. Who would have thought that Kanavi would play Jarvan in this position? Aux, did you?
I did think he would play that. And, Locke has been banned a lot, and when he hasn't been banned, he's been picked. So the fact he's now gone through, presumably to be a second rotation ban from KT, is interesting. But maybe it's Zeka thinking, do I want to play a melee champion into Cassiopeia? That doesn't sound enjoyable. Let me pick Akali instead.
Well, I mean, Akali is actually not considered the worst matchup. So.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But it is
Zeka
very funny.
Is great on it. Olaf ban coming through makes a lot of sense because I just think there's not a lot of anything this team comp can do into him. At least BDD can help shut it on the Cassiopeia, but MF Nautilus into Olaf sounds like an absolute nightmare.
It does not sound very fun at all. I also think that it can be difficult to play the Misfortune even into Milio, as the fire kick can be so annoying. Fire kick also very annoying into Nautilus. So we'll see how Effort and FenRir are going to be able to play around it, as the Gnar will be banned away from Perfect. I feel like Gnar in this composition does feel very scary. Like that Wombo combo is ridiculous if he does manage to line it up.
A lot of Gnars having success recently, just getting ahead, being that threat, just hiding in brushes and jumping on people in mini Gnar.
Yeah.
Ali will be banned away from Zeka, which makes a very good amount of sense.
Now he can lock it.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. It's weird. I feel like if you really wanted Locke, you would have locked it in already.
But instead,
he is hovering various mid lane picks. I think Victor's the best lane matchup.
He locks it.
He'll just lock in.
Lock, and lock. Okay. It really is a game 4. Let's see what the response is going to be out of KT, because I agree with you. I think that this could be a difficult lane for the Locke, but you can still fire back. She could be twin fanging you, but you can also just be throwing your nails around and things like that.
Oh, they could go Rumble Skarner and just hold them over the coals.
Oh, yeah, true. The barbecue combo.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay, so I was already talking about how
we're making kebabs.
This was a tough game for Lucian. That has just been amplified. And I think the Ambessa makes complete sense here.
Yep.
Into the Rumble and just going to try and thrive in the chaos. But this is a short-range composition for HLE into a lot of things that it's not fun to play short-range champions into. I think a lot of this game is going to come down to finding early momentum for HLE. Because I think if we got an even 5v5s, they're going to have a rough time.
I'd agree with you, and I also think that a lot of this will be about how much Zeka can abuse being on this champion that's somewhat overtuned on this particular patch. He has found success on it in the Kesper Cup more recently. It wasn't about him. That game was not about him, even in the slightest. He existed there. He got a couple of kills. That was cute. But it was largely elsewhere on the map that was being carried. I'm personally very scared about Zeus being on this Ambessa. I think that Ambessa into Rumble is a decent matchup on either, like it can go either way.
Yeah.
But Zeus is just so good that this really could be an opportunity for him to find a great angle to get a lead and take over the game, as we've seen some Ambessas be able to do in recent weeks, and especially on this particular patch. But I do think that KT, like you were mentioning before, there is a lot of teamfight and skirmishing power with this composition.
For sure the case, and I think the Ambessa matchup, really the early levels, is where I can go a bit pear-shaped, but once you get the healing at level 6 and the Eclipse, really starts to turn heavily in your favor. So we'll see how it's played out. I'm just a little bit unsure, because you have really the early pressure in favor of KT in the lanes, and then you have a Skarner who just has such good gank angles, so they have to keep tabs on Cuzz on this one.
We'll see whether they can as we get on to the Rift, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 1, KT versus HLE. Oh my goodness, it is an absolutely packed house here in Chichidik World Park today, and everyone in full voice supporting HLE and KT here. KT should be feeling like they're on the back foot, but they're the ones coming off a win, and HLE are the ones coming off a loss. So we'll see whether our MSI champs can get it together in this series. I think they have a lot of comfort, and they have a lot of power, right? Like, Gumayusi and Delight, I think that like this has been their we're just gonna win combo for quite some time. You can see the opening salvo looking okay for the Misfortune and the Nautilus.
We'll get some
after that, not so much.
Truck as well. Heal burn by Delight, so even though the HP looks about even, it's an advantage for KT. Bush control was secured by HLE, and then Effort just said, yeah, I'm going straight in on the back of the Aftershock. I remember when we had so many times that players were taking Spellbook, and I feel like now that it's been a move back to Aftershock with the buffs and also Spellbook being toned down, it feels so much nicer for Nautilus, who was, and still is, one of the squishier melee supports.
Right now getting zoned back as Gumayusi and Delight will grab that level 2 first. BDD doesn't seem too worried as Zeka has to flash here in this mid lane. So many of these nails, by the way, were going wide. It looked like Jonas Strong got bored of watching mid lane and said, no, I'd prefer not to. It's like Zeka missed 3 in a row, and then he just left.
Down is really rough. I feel like this is why they were hesitant to lock the...
yeah.
And now, Cuzz is here. Does get his buff.
All right, well, that's a thanks for the leash if ever I've seen one. Effort does use the heal here as Gumayusi going aggressive 1v2. Barrier now down. FenRir does still have his as Cuzz moves over. FenRir has barrier, Gumayusi. And oh my goodness,
Lord.
So close to dead.
And FenRir didn't even have to use the barrier, just held it cool, calm, and collected. Gumayusi with both summoners down, trying really to force the pressure here. And now Delight and Kanavi are moving up towards the Gromp.
And I feel like FenRir is in such a weird and unique position as he's only just been promoted to the main roster and already... Okay, never mind. We're flashing in. Cuzz just going to throw Kanavi into the wall. FenRir is going to move up. Effort waiting over the wall. They know that they're getting first blood, and Cuzz, he's going to claim it. And we know what happens when Skarners get early advantages, and it is not great for the opposing team.
This just felt overforced by HLE. You're trying to go for the invade. You're thwarted. And you just keep pushing it. Your AD carry had to recall with no sums. Your mid lane is down flash and being pressured. And you keep extending this play. Longer and longer. Your mid lane have recalled. Your mid lane is TPing in. Your AD carry is walking back to base. This just felt pretty obvious what would happen. Kanavi just really wanted that Gromp.
Oh, BDD really wanted to kill Zeka, who is going to be able to at least dash and teleport away. He'll be okay momentarily, but this is already such a great start for KT, and not even necessarily with the outcome of the game, right? It's 600 gold, it is decent, like it's an okay lead, but it's the way they're playing that is just looking good out of KT right now. We know that this composition is only going to get more difficult to play into as the game goes on, and they're already showing that they do have the level of coordination required to make this composition work, as BDD on the Snake looking for a bit of an angle here. Still level 5, very far away from the Petrifying Gaze, so Zeka will be able to at least grab these minions. But it's, yeah, it's a little rough.
Yeah, BDD is at least out of mana, but Zeka's almost out of health.
Yeah,
I think running out of
trade of 2 resources here as Cuzz going to come in. BDD, it looked like he was baiting that, and indeed, he kind of was. Kanavi not going to have the flag and drag for the next little while, and the Twin Fangs come out. It's another one as the second kill comes in for KT, and it goes to BDD to add insult to injury.
Is this the LCK Cup? Oh,
I don't know, but KT are looking phenomenal here. It's like round 2 all over again.
It feels like LCK Cup where, you know, DNS win games and Kanavi is just on his own little mission.
I mean, technically Zeka was there, like he was watching.
Yeah?
Kanavi, it was a little bit like a Mad Max type situation, like a witness me moment.
Yeah. And I guess Zeka really did witness him.
Yep, Kanavi got the chrome out.
So I think initially the call was help me push this wave in. That's a bit more than helping push the wave in. And then Skarner actually does a lot of damage early on. So even though BDD's low on mana, he'll just help him. And you know what? BDD got a blue buff off that. So his mana problems have disappeared.
He typed in all chat, like, I've got an issue with mana. Kanavi's like, I got you, bro. Oh, well. It's now only a 300 gold lead, so somehow, off the back of that kill, HLE were able to pull back just a little. Large part of that is the fact that Delight and Gumayusi are still absolutely terrifying just on these raw champions in the bottom lane.
Yeah, so we obviously saw FenRir trading up in terms of summoners. We saw Effort and FenRir doing some good AD trades. They're now 30 CS down.
Yeah, a large number.
Yeah, not ideal. It gets to the point where when the MF has sustain in the lane, because obviously you go Bloodthirster first, it makes things a lot more bearable, but you actually have to get CS to get gold most of the time.
That's really weird. Speaking of weird, Ambessa I've felt has been kind of strong currently, but she's on a 6-match losing streak. The more you know. I'll be able to find a win. We'll see whether Zeus can have some better luck with it. As in the Kesper Cup, it feels like the opposite scenario is true, as Petrifying Gaze comes down onto Zeka, and the Twin Fangs are coming out. There's Purgatory, but I don't know whether that's really what we're going to need. The flash in, and there is the poison. Twin Fangs need to come on down. One more will do it. The flash out from Zeka. He is going the wrong direction, but he's got a blast cone to activate. Oh, and can he get to safety? Oh, I love turning off the lights here as he's looking to go for the back angle. The equalizer. Oh dear. Oh no! Oh, perfect.
That was not perfect.
That's, yeah. Well, Zeka is going to be able to make it out. Really nicely done. So now, Flash is down for both of our mid laners. And I think if Kanavi decides to go for it again, they could find a little bit more success.
Yeah, no Flash and all for BDD makes him pretty vulnerable. Obviously, it wasn't an ideal circumstance with how that started off, but you know what? Stuff like that happens. You just find a way.
Yeah. Maybe needing to build another Scryer's Blooms. Obviously, Kanavi is back here in this mid lane once again. Cuzz not too far away, though, as he has completed his topside camps. He does have a lot of them to gain towards the bottom side of the map, though. Might be looking to head over there. And BDD has the wave in a pretty good spot for him defensively.
Yeah, I'd also be cautious. If you go in and you Cataclysm BDD, Cuzz can just slam you through the Cataclysm, and then you're just going to get DPS down. Slam you into the Cataclysm.
Oh, some poke damage from the Skarner here. Are we going to have a 5v5 over Grubs? We might have a 5v5 over Grubs, unless Cuzz is just dead to start it off, but he's able to drive away. Gumayusi with the culling down, and held on to that for quite some time. FenRir able to get a few extra shots in, as Kanavi should be able to at least get this first one. Gumayusi helping out there, but it looks like the other two should be going over to KT, as the cavalry will arrive. Teleport back for BDD. And he's now got his Catalyst done. Feeling better about that one. Zeus, Ambessa towards the top side, does have a 10 CS advantage. Perfect. Sacrificing a little bit in order to get that movement and also to try and find a Zeka that he just couldn't quite find.
Is Zeus delaying that early spike to get the Hex Drinker, and considering the top side of the enemy team, which is just a tank and 2 APs, feeling very good about having that extra magic resist.
Wow, he's dodging these nails so well. BDD finds the Petrifying Gaze, and Zeka, yeah, he is able to dash his way out, but he is not having a good time in this lane at all.
Yeah, he just keeps kind of walking at BDD, getting ulted, and then running away, which, I mean, if he doesn't die, but it's not exactly how you want things to be going. And pressure continuing to mount.
Yeah, he has a 20 CS deficit now. We'll be able to pick up a couple of these minions, but he now has to go back. BDD will shove another wave forward. So, does feel like Gumayusi still with a great lead towards his bottom side. We do not want to take anything away from the 30 CS that he has in advantage. Top lane, relatively even, but Zeus is winning out on a lot of this as far as farm is concerned. So it does feel like Cassio versus Lucian, BDD versus Gumayusi here in this game. And whenever Guma is playing Lucian, the game is about him. Almost every single time. And that is looking to continue here.
As I said before, challenging game to play Lucian in. We've seen Lucians get ahead before and then just not be able to function in team fights. So pressure is on Guma's shoulders to make this work. Cuzz finding an angle here. I think Zeus is probably dead.
Yeah, it's not looking too comfortable here, but Perfect is running around in circles instead of going for anything. I believe they spotted the Locke on a ward, and they do not want to give him any extra kills in these side lanes.
Oh, Zeus not even having to commit flash or ult to get away from that. Very comfortable.
Yeah, and KT also not over-investing either. They just sort of turned up, and that was about it. Teleport back here from Perfect. And he is still behind, does now have his Haunting guys at least, as well as some steel caps.
Well, I was a little worried about bot lane because there was a 30 CS lead, but there isn't one anymore. It's actually about a 40 CS lead, so...
Got it, there you go. There's a really, like, it's a pretty easy way to solve a 30 CS lead issue, is turn it into a different one.
Yeah.
That's like what I've always said about, like, if your shoulder hurts, you just hit yourself in the head with a brick, and your shoulder doesn't hurt anymore.
That's true.
Because your head is busy hurting. It's sort of like that. Same logic. All right, Gumayusi and Delight still in control here, but at least KT feeling like they can move out of the lane, especially with the Scorpion making his way down towards his bottom side. Zeka really wanted to finish the job versus Perfect, and he wants to hold this wave, actually doing a great job doing so. And Zeka holds the wave himself. Okay, Purgatory comes down and misses. Now Zeka gets flashed on! That outplay was so sick from Perfect, and now the Impale in this bottom lane. Kanavi is going to put them in the Cataclysm, but effort, he flashes away. Kanavi survives, but the minions block the culling, and KT win everywhere! The flash in, and Cuzz is going for even more. It is going to be the ankle landing on Delight. They'll settle for that kill, and KT move to 4-0.
Just true tanky on the bot side, on the top as well, I guess.
Yeah, tanky, absolutely.
KT living in these situations, he just gets to push mid by himself. This top lane play, Zeus just not quite able to get the damage off, and then the ult, the Purgatory misses. Zeka tries to go for it, but the perfect flash away. And then here, this play, I feel like this just happens so often when one team has a Skarner and the other team doesn't. Where you end up, first you're focusing the Nautilus with the Aftershock, then you're like, okay, let's hit the Skarner, and he just doesn't really take damage. You can see Guma is trying to hit
FenRir also just channeled his ult for 0 time.
Yeah.
In that play as well, and it didn't actually matter. They still just found the angle.
His champion is just so thick, so tanky.
Oh, and now went for the belt first, actually, instead of going for the Heartsteel.
Yeah, the belt first I feel is a lot weaker with the nerfs, but it's still okay. You still get the heal and the bonus health, just you can't be bursted easier. Wow.
Oh, no, Kanavi just absolutely baited. He had to guess. And it was, wait, just give it to him, Kanavi. You did not need to do that at all. I was like thinking like, oh, he wants to deny Double Dragon or like a Soul Point or something like that. But no, like you already had the first one. Just give him that one. It's fine.
No, he doesn't like sharing.
No, he does. He's been gifting a lot, actually. It's like, you can have some gold. You can have some gold.
No, I think sharing implies he gives gold to both teams. Only been giving gold to KT.
Oh, no. Didn't have to do him like that. I guess you have been casting Kanavi for a long time. Maybe you guys are on that level. All right, Gumayusi going to get ulted. The flash in from BDD to deny the relentless pursuit, and he yells it to light as well. Going to be sinking in these fangs, and man, this Cassio does some damage. A double kill here, and KT moving to 7-0.
Yeah,
Look at the KT fans. Just hold, okay?
No,
not over yet.
No, I'm not going to say the word. But it's a great start for KT. We're seeing some of the pains of the Lucian into a Cassiopeia who throws Miasma down. You can't do a ton. But this has not been smooth sailing for HLE. This is the team who won MSI, who were first place during regular season. This was great. So they're kind of playing with the aggro. It resets, goes to higher HP, and Kanavi loses a vision. So he thought, well, they'll just hit it. This is the right timing.
Yeah, they just stopped hitting it.
By Cuzz, yeah.
It was actually really cute to play around it.
There's just not a ton you can do. You know, I mean, things happen in lane. I guess don't play aggressive when Cassiopeia's missing is the lesson here. But
I mean, Flash Miasma. I don't know how. Like, he was coming down from the sky and landed on the poison ground. Like,
oh, there's no outplaying once you're there.
Yeah. And with a Nautilus, it's just hard to outplay just in general.
Yeah.
Unless you got Fate's Call.
They're playing the
like
Herald here. This is a very fed KT.
Yep, double teleports coming in as both the Ambessa and the Rumble making their way over. Let's see whether Cuzz can lock it down, and he does. Tries to find the Impale, does not, as the Eye is still sitting there in the pit. BDD comes on over, and now Cuzz just finds the Ambessa. Kanavi off to the side, gets on top of BDD. Oh! It's the 4-man ultimate! And he is going to be taken down, but not after killing absolutely everyone. And the Skarner grabs the Eye. Perfect is looking for it, and Alpha gets the max range anchor to guarantee the ace as Delight gets burnt to a crisp. KT Rolster are 12-1 against HLE after dispatching T1. This is unheard of.
This was crazy. So first they get the Herald initially, Impale forces Kanavi's flash. Then Perfect goes for this equalizer, doesn't get a ton of value until they drag the Ambessa into it. Then in this ensuing fight, this 4-man petrifying gaze. Kanavi dies, there's 4 hit with that by BDD. And then the chase down comes in an effort. Just this is like the icing on top.
Yeah,
Lands that lollipop dredge line around the corner. They were already ahead going into this fight, but honestly, with how well they played this, I don't think they needed to be to win that fight. That was domination.
That was beautiful to watch here for KT. And now FenRir finds himself 3-0-7 on this this misfortune. He is very far ahead. And despite the fact that, you know, the farm wasn't going his way, he now gets to park himself in mid with a Bloodthirster. Yeah, and that's exactly what, like, this is where Lucian wants to thrive, right? Yep. Is in this mid lane skirmish. Well, now he's lost his turret, and he's against a champion that just insta-sustains anything that he tries to do.
Yeah, there's really no recourse. You're losing a lot of Lucian value here when you're this far behind against a misfortune. Your tower's already gone.
40 CS lead, though.
Yeah, well, that mitigates some of it, I guess. Cuzz already got a second item as well, gone for the Bandle Pipes. He's a Bandle Pipe.
He's a bargain bin Skarner.
Also, look at the matching colors on these 2 items. It's just a similar sort of Shrek-colored vibe.
Yeah, it's like the no-brand type style.
Yeah.
Both of these items are very cheap, but Cuzz is now, you know, 2,000 gold in the lead. And I think that he's probably got money to spare as well, given how cheap these first 2 items are. Bounty gold goes over to Zeka as he takes down the turret.
Yeah, it's pretty big that they can get the bounty gold, but it also tells you the state of the game that there is bounty gold.
Yeah.
And there's a dragon coming up in 10 seconds. With this deficit, I don't think HLE should contest it. And instead looking top.
Oh, there's the Purgatory. Throws down the Equalizer. He's definitely dead. We'll do a bit of damage back, but I think HLE should be able to get away with this one. BDD just going to tidy up the wave.
Oh, Zeka didn't get to pick up the soul, though, afterwards. That's a little bit unfortunate. Had to scarf up from that one.
Yep, subpar. As Cuzz, looking for Gumayusi, picks up a rock, throws it at him, and that is going to be the end of the story there.
Throwing rocks at him. That's his general vibe right now.
Could look to a dragon, as KT do have a ton of vision in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, didn't want to go for it then, but should have the opportunity to do so now. Kanavi, no flash or Cataclysm. A lot of ults down for HLE to make it a tricky contest. So in theory, HLE should not contest this, but
I think
Kanavi
KT
might just...
Yeah, KT might have delayed to try and convince them to contest it.
Yeah.
Because their composition does very much want a team fight.
I see, so don't contest this dragon, but do contest the earlier one and meet your demise. I guess they are very behind now, and the vision setup was very good from KT.
I mean, at least Zeka does make it to 2 items, right? He's got his Dash Cannon and his Lich Bane. The Locke is starting to do some stuff and does actually, like, has even been doing a lot of damage in these team fights. You can see how strong this champion is, even from a deficit. As he is going to throw some nails into FenRir here. Actually finds the ulti, and FenRir gets the barrier, and there's the combo! Puts down Zeka, not before almost dying, I have to say, but still, KT will keep their AD carry alive and shut down this Locke.
Oh, looking again, though.
Okay, Cuzz is over here. There is the Flash Cataclysm. FenRir just trying to use that Bloodthirst. So the Impale connects onto Gumayusi, finally able to take down this Misfortune as Kanavi goes underneath the turret. But there's the Rumble to do the damage. BDD finally gets here, and HLE realize it is time to run away. Cuzz going to help Zeus do so just a little bit here, but not without Perfect backing him up. And now Delight is just going to get poisoned and removed. The cleanup just a little too powerful here from KT as they get revenge for their new AD carry's death.
And now might just look straight towards the Baron.
Do you think that a Cassiopeia has enough DPS for this?
I think so, and especially...
Oh, what kind of Baron is it?
This one is the All-Seeing Eye Baron, so not the Hunter Baron. They are being contested on it, though.
Yeah, and Zeka does do a lot of damage. They have to be a little bit careful here. The Baron has disappeared, which is kind of funny, but down does reappear. Effort and FenRir will make their way back over, but that does spell out to them that Kanavi and Delight cannot be too much further behind. So let's have a look at this one more time as FenRir just barely able to live.
Yeah, this peel was great from Effort in this situation, and the execute threshold must have been very close. The barrier saving him initially there, and then again a bit later. I wonder if that soul that
honestly,
Zeka
I think
pick up the top lane
as well.
Oh yeah. But I wonder if that soul that Zeka didn't pick up the top lane made the difference in the threshold. Now here, they know FenRir has no summoners, they commit for the play, but I love the flash in from Effort. He also moves to block Zeus' ult from being on top of his AD carry, the double impale as well. Effort doing everything to keep his AD carry alive, and yes, they both die, but it allows the rest of the team to come in. Delight tries to peel, and ends up getting hit by the Noxious Blast, which allows BDD to chase him down. So that mammoth effort by the bot lane to stay alive for as long as possible just now allows his counterplay and all this cleanup from KT.
Really nicely done. Moving to 4 times the kills of HLE here in this game, getting themselves their first Infernal Dragon as well, just prior to that play. But not able to get the Baron. That was something that HLE were able to deter them from. So when the dust settles, I mean, there's no soul point just yet. I think Infernal Soul Point with this Misfortune Rumble style composition, like that's going to be a tough one to come back from. And that's without even talking about BDD, who is kind of the main character right now. Oh my god, FenRir just walks up to Guma and takes half of his health bar, and Kanavi's just dead. Anchor is going to be able to find Zeus after the dash as he tries to ult his way out, but Effort is going to catch him. He's slammed into the wall and put down by FenRir, and all the while, Perfect puts up a wall of flame that they cannot walk across. Without a jungler, without a top laner, KT should be able to grab themselves a Baron.
KT just playing levels above HLE right now. They're playing bodyguard here. They know Zeka's position in the top lane. This is an uncontested Baron. There'll be a little bit of plates in terms of recourse, but still not really worth it. Actually, TP going to come through. He will be able to get out, but does end up expending another resource. And Baron secured for KT.
And double level 16s for both of the solo laners from KT as well.
So Kanavi just caught out in this situation by the Skarner, CC'd for however long, and then dies. And then here they start to move forward on the play. Effort's been in great form on this Nautilus. Moves as well, forces Zeka to go, Zeus to go further in and not hitting a target he really wants to be on. I think he's been playing around these Ambessa ults really well and kind of making sure he's the one to soak it, essentially.
Yeah, looking absolutely fantastic. As HLE Probably realizing that Soul Point is going to be a difficult thing for them to give up. They are going to be able to give a red buff over to Gumayusi.
That's a true support.
There we go. Beautiful.
The Light's like, I need to walk by, but I won't take your red buff.
Well, let's see how long Gumayusi can hold on to it as the rest of KT are greeting him here in this bottom lane. Fire kick going to land, but the trade in the rock is pretty scary. Oh. Anchor finds Delight up to the backside, and he is executed. The bullet time going to be enough to take him down there. Now KT with the Baron looking for this inner turret. Oh, whoo, okay. Yeah, flag and drag, pretty good timing on that one, as Effort was obviously looking for an angle. Zeus will be able to grab some more bounty gold, but KT going to take that as an opportunity to continue pushing here on this bottom side. Potential flank angle from Zeka as he moves his way in, because spots him, and instantly he's throwing boulders towards this Locke. And HLE, I just don't think they're going to really be able to do anything about this. I think giving up this inhibitor is going to be the first step. And then, oh, the max range anchor. Once again, they're looking to lock down Kanavi, and they'll do so very easily. FenRir's damage just kind of ludicrous right now. But now, Zeka throws in some Purgatory. Couple tagged with it here as Gumayusi is going to be walking away. FenRir making it rain, making it hard for HLE to chase. And now the Infernal Soul Point should belong to KT.
Effort has just been absolutely insane.
This game on the possessed, man.
Absolutely. I guess bored of the enchantment that we had earlier this year. He's like, finally!
He's like, finally, my 80,000 competitive games of Nautilus are coming in clutch.
And we'll see this play. This one felt unfortunate. You know, Delight is shielding Guma. Guma dashes out the way. Delight eats the Dredge Light instead. And then here again, Kanavi thinking he's playing just outside the range. Gets grabbed in, Miasma follows, and you just do not get to play the game.
Why is Effort, like, he's hitting so many champions that are standing next to terrain, and I thought that that was impossible. On Nautilus, I thought it just always hit the terrain, because your anchor is so fat. But not for this man. They're able to find the targets as BDD running exceptionally quickly here. 14 stacks on his Forbidden Book, by the way. This Cassiopeia is extraordinarily frightening.
And as well, just like the movement speed, because you get the at 10 stacks, you get the movement speed. It's crazy on a Boots of Swiftness Cassiopeia. I was like, how quickly he's moving when he's dodging.
Yeah, I thought that Effort had Shirelius from out of nowhere, and you definitely don't build that on Nautilus anymore. I don't know whether you ever did, even when it didn't have AP. But he was running extremely quickly. That is largely because of those stacks. Okay, outer turret falls finally on the top side of the map, as that anchor definitely wasn't about to hit anyone. I think expecting someone to flash out of the way is now Gumayusi just getting completely poked out. Does find the culling here, gets the big ol' heal, but the bullet time just destroys them all! And the Impale was gorgeous. Into the backline goes Zeus. The anchor to follow. Gumayusi now trying to layer the damage down, but the answering kill is going to be there. Relentless Pursuit gets out of this equalizer just after it went down, but it's still almost burnt him to death with how fed this Rumble is. And KT, they move it up to about a 7,000 gold lead, and it just feels like this team can do no wrong this game.
The combos KT is pulling out, the Impale this time into the bullet time from the MF is just crazy. Trying to make the engage happen here, going for the Cataclysm and then dash out again, peel for Guma. But just this grab from Cuzz and the Shred. Of course, you do get to press W and heal while you're inside that still from Locke, which is very goofy, but still goes down in the end. Zeus tries to make a play here and does a lot of damage, but just isn't quite able to finish off BDD, and suffering from the gold deficit the team has. Oh, Kanavi might be dead again.
Oh dear, he's on a miasma. There's a Petrifying Gaze, and yes, BDD will kill him. No way that you can even get the Q out. This Cassio 8, 1, and 6. Yeah. 24 stacks on the Magi. Soul Stealer. Yes.
And this Jarvan, 1, 9, and 4. Not as...
Yeah, just trying to meet him on the other side as he comes back around.
I guess BDD needs another kill to match.
Yeah, challenges for BDD obviously here in this one. They'll take another inhibitor. That is going to go down in the mid lane. We're looking at a Baron being up in 45 seconds. Might be what KT are going to look for in order to finish this game off.
I mean, at this point, they're so strong. Cuzz has a Kainic Rukian as well. He's so tanky. The 24-stack Medjais. I think they can just kind of do whatever they want, which is a crazy thing to say in a KT game, given their history. But I genuinely think it's just so hard to see angles in for HLE. The composition is short range. They're playing into a lot of champions that are so difficult to deal with.
We were thinking that the Legend group has taken some inspiration from the Rise group, though.
Yeah.
You know, because it was so much more entertaining, so much more interesting. The DN Supers in Game 2 had a composition and a game position that was looking really good. As now Cuzz is going to miss kind of everything. The culling is going to land on a BDD, but he goes golden. The arm guard's fantastic. Kanavi gets the Cataclysm off. Evan will be taken down as Zeus finds the double. There's the Impale to come through as HLE. They find the misfortune and they keep themselves alive.
Just a generational caster case right there. I'm honestly...
I mean, I was in the middle of saying, this is still throwable.
Oh my god, I'm actually impressed that I was able to do that. But yeah, they 1 in 10 Jarvan, who cares? They won the team fight. They're going to get a bunch of bounty gold here. BDD out of position a little bit without flash. And I think the summoner's not being available on these carries. The big turning point there.
And there is super minions in the bottom lane about to kill a turret, an inhibitor again, but this dash from Gumayusi.
Yeah, and this catch from Zeus on a BDD. He just got the ult off, but it's cleansed, and then the turnaround.
Oh, the equalizer did absolutely nothing as well.
And with the Cassiopeia dead, a lot of that DPS does disappear.
스카너 여기 있다.
Oh.
빨개냈어.
Just in time.
That was so close. And the Cassio wasn't even on the screen, and he got most of the culling on it.
밀고.
Sidesteps the
스카너.
Impale.
나 피업 좀 해야 돼.
This Gumayusi guy.
I guess
Pretty good illegal edge.
just hands different. That's the answer. And now this should be solved for KT, but HLE are the ones with control of the area.
Well, the Dragon is still extremely healthy, so it looks like it is going to be a 5v5 for this one. So much more on the line for HLE, though. They have to deny this Dragon. Kanavi staying on it right now. The teleport in, and Kanavi looks for the Cataclysm. Immediately has to cancel it. Here's the ultimate. Picks up the misfortune. Beautifully played. Zeus stays out of the Impale as well, but Guma goes too far forward. This time the equalizer is gorgeous, and he's burning them all down. Perfect now alongside Cuzz in effort. Wants to take down Zeus, but he sidesteps the anchor. Cuzz down so low, but it's another flame spitter, and they'll be able to take him out. And now they just need to stop Zeka's back. This could be game over.
It could be. They're peeling back though now.
Never mind.
That time is a little bit too short, and Zeka being able to get back would be able to defend. They're just going to go for the Dragon. The damage both top laners did there, about 7,000 apiece, was insane. This was so hectic. So BDD ups to Miasma, the Jarvan, not saving it for Zeus coming out the teleport, and he just beeline straight for the MF, takes them down. BDD is trying to find a position to do damage safely, but he's just in such an uncomfortable spot, and Zeka takes him down. But look how long Zeus lives just doing this damage. It's only because Perfect, he's just been melting everyone, comes in and actually has the damage to finish him off. This was so close to HLE's top laner carrying the fight. In the end, though, it is Infernal Soul for KT, and Perfect comes up huge there.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is with these former KT Challenger top laners playing Rumble this week, but Casting and Perfect having a very good time on this pick.
The crazy thing is, BDD still has 13 Medjay stacks, just because he's getting so many assists after he dies in these kills with the poisons everywhere.
Yeah.
That he's just picked up a bunch of stacks after losing all of them.
Yeah. Still able to run really quickly around the
Zeus!
Oh no! That was not the blast cone he was looking for! Equalizer stops him from being able to make it back to the rest of his team as well, and he can't get over the wall because there's no flash! Oh no! Zeus is going to fall down, and now the Baron, which is up and available, should belong to KT. A 4 versus 5 just feels like a bridge too far.
Especially Zeus being the one who goes down, the one who did so much in that last fight, but it's a great trap from KT playing around that vision. Perfect is hunting for Kanavi, has spotted him. No way he gets into the pit now. They're just going to push mid instead.
Yeah, that's more stacks over to BDD as well.
The cutoff is coming.
Oh yeah, BDD looking for the angle here. Petrifying Gaze could be so scary. He finds it onto two. So much damage onto Kanavi. Gumayusi at least is able to help take him down, but the anchor to finish him off. He just drops it on his head. Oh man, justice for supports. I'm voting for effort even though I don't have a vote. Kanavi going to be running away here. Zeka as well. Nowhere near this fight. Is just trying to escape towards the northern side.
Another
and now
TP?
Teleport in from Perfect. I think they're looking to finish this one off. Unless Zeka goes for a base race, which would be...
They have Baron to recall, but he has Lichbane. He actually does so much damage.
Yeah. And so, let's see whether he stays.
Guys,
see whether he can take... Yeah,
guys,
I mean,
you need to recall.
yeah, well, Perfect is going to go back.
Nice!
They're going to lose.
Nice!
Wait, this could just be the end. Okay, he does back away. There's the Impale to come on down as Zeus throws out the ultimate. Effort just trying to stand in front of his teammates. Kanavi is just free food here for KT, unfortunately.
This is unfortunate.
That is not the teleport that Zeka was looking for. The anchor does go through him as he goes into stasis, dashes out of the way. There's the Purgatory. FenRir this time is able to dodge out of the way of it though. The flash in from Zeus to try and take down the Misfortune will fail this time. And Gumayusi gets knocked up, hit by everything. Effort is ridiculous, but Zeka will be able to finish off this MF. And we were saying it, man. I love the Legend group this year. This is absolute ridiculousness. As one Nexus turret is going to remain, and BDD, I think, is going to come down and stop this funny business. KT will be taking game number 1 in our final series of the week. But I really hope this goes to 3. Ladies and gentlemen, what a show.
Absolute chaos. Some phenomenal fights from KT, but HLE really made them work for, despite the massive goal deficit, but despite